Hi there, Carolan McDermott here. I'm going to walk you through what a residential listing agreement looks like. That way, when it comes time for you to sign it, you're familiar with it, and I've explained what everything means. So this first page is disclosure regarding real estate agency relationship. So it's going to go over some just definitions. So if you would like to read through that, you may do so. So then here you're going to see that seller is checked off here and here. And then, the first seller and the second seller will be listed here. This is my brokerage, their license, my name, and my license number. This form is Fair Housing and Discrimination Advisory. So it's going to go over good practices of fair housing, bad examples, and then the things that we are not allowed to discriminate against. So when reviewing offers, you're not allowed to discriminate for any of these reasons. They'll give you a couple links in here if you want to learn more. And then again, for the first time, you'll see the buyer's names. But when you're first originally signing a listing agreement before hitting the market, this will be blank. And then once you do have an accepted offer, the buyers will eventually sign. Possible representation of more than one buyer or seller. So this is stating that as a real estate agent, I could be bringing multiple buyers to your property or potentially be selling more than one home in a neighborhood. And then dual agency is when an agent represents both the buyer and the seller. So it'll go into more detail here. And then right here, offer is not necessarily confidential. That means that somebody could submit an offer and I could tell some other agent the exact details of this offer. So it's just to say, hey, offers are not necessarily confidential. And then you'll sign again after reading, stating that you understand everything above. Wire fraud and electronic funds. So this is really more geared towards the buyer when they submit their earnest money deposit, which will happen 3 days after the opening of escrow, and it'll be 3% of the purchase price. So they'll do that by a wire, and you have to be very careful that you are calling and making sure that you, one, have the right phone number, that the email is correct, the account numbers are correct. A lot of people will hack an email and make it look exactly like an escrow company's, and then you're wiring money to the wrong place. All right, so the fun page. The day that the document is prepared will show here, and then you'll have both the seller's names. This is my brokerage again, and then the beginning date of the contract. Typically, a standard contract is 6 months. So you'll see the beginning date and then 6 months from that date. And then here's where you're going to see your property address. So right here, it'll be your house number, your street, situated in what city it's in, what county, California, and then you'll have your parcel number here. Then here we have listing price and terms. So in here, we have to put in a price. Whether or not you've determined what you want to list your home for is totally okay, but we still have to at least enter in a price there, and it can change. So not a big deal if it's a little bit higher or a little bit lower when you actually hit the market. Here, you're going to see the percentage for commission. So in here, you're going to see a total, let's say, 5 or 6%. We'll do 5% here. It's selected as a percentage. And then down here, you'll see what we are offering the buyer's agent. So this is the total commission. And then this is how much of the total commission you'll be giving to the buyer's agent. So you're not paying 7.5%, you're paying 5%, 2.5% to the buy side, 2.5% to the sell side. And then right here, this 180 is entered in because let's say that within 180 days after the listing agreement ends, or you decide to cancel on the agent is obligated to commission for 180 days afterwards. If somebody purchased your home and they had already walked and seen the home in person while there was actually a listing contract in place. All right, you'll see your property address listed up here again, and then this is where you get to decide what items you want excluded and what items you want included in the sale of your home. Washer, dryers, fridge, Ring doorbells, bathroom mirrors, security equipment, all of that is negotiable. But if you know for a fact that you're going to be taking your washer, dryer, and your fridge, then let's go ahead and exclude it. Let's say for some reason you have a flagpole outside and you want to take that with you. We're going to exclude that as well. Or maybe you want to include it. Again, if you don't enter every single thing that you want to include or exclude when you're sending this, it's okay. We can add it, when we enter your home into the MLS or before signing a contract with a buyer. Alrighty, so this portion is for leased and liened items. So if you have solar, alarm systems, propane tanks, all of that good stuff, we just need to know if it's leased or liened, so we'll fill that out there. All right, so what MLS are we going to be using? This will state what MLS we will be listing your home in, and SRAR is really good for, Santa Clarita, Los Angeles, Thousand Oaks, pretty much all of the areas within LA. And then let's say you're in Palmdale, Lancaster, Acton, Leona Valley. There is also an MLS called GAVAR. So you want to make sure that if you have a home in one of those areas that you're listed in SRAR and GAVAR. If you were to sign inside this box, this is stating that you understand that your home is not going into the MLS and the impacts and effects of you not going into the MLS. Don't suggest it. You'll get the greatest, audience views, people seeing your home if it is listed in the MLS, but that's what this big box is for. If you were going to be doing a coming soon, you would select here, or this is just stating what a coming soon is. But if you were not going to, you could select that. But I don't really like coming soon because let's say your home was listed 5 years ago and we put it up as coming soon. We only have one photo. Yeah, sure, you might be getting people excited about your home, but they're going to go look back at the old photos from when it was listed 5 years ago. And if you have upgrades, that's missed. Or if the photos weren't good, that's the only representation they're going to have of the home. So I don't really like to do coming soons personally. So these are a bunch of definitions. I would definitely suggest making sure you read through the entire agreement, but just to kind of sum it up, it's majority of definitions up there. This little section is going to state whether or not you're going to present buyer letters. You can either decide to look at all of them or none of them. A lot of the times we say, as a seller, we don't want you to read them because we don't want you to be making a decision emotionally. We want you to be making a decision based on the financial portion of it. So you make the best decision for yourself. So in here, if you were a part of an HOA, you would want to select right here. And if you were going to provide any of these inspections or reports to a buyer when you are on the market, you would select those there. This is checked off because that means I'm including the form disclosure regarding real estate agency relationships. These are all going to be definitions. And then again here, this is checked off because I have included the possible representation of more than one buyer or seller. And then photographs and internet advertising, just kind of summing it up for you, but please read. It's just saying that we don't have like a lot of control of what people do with your photos after it's on the internet. So someone could use it in an Instagram post. People can do whatever with it, but it's easy to screenshot a picture on the internet. So it's just saying like, hey, just beware. All right, so I personally write in my listing agreements that if you as a seller wants to cancel, that all you have to do is give me written notice within 24 hours and then I will cancel. If this is not written in there, you are in a 6-month contract. So if there's some type of life change for you, I'm not going to force you to sell your home. So that's why I write that in there. But it's not in your offer or not in your listing agreement currently. So again, here's more definitions for us. Seller's advisory. So definitely read through this whole page, but it's just stating that, hey, if the market changes the day after you sell your home, or, if there's an earthquake while we're on the market, things of those sort, we're not really in control of those things, and they can affect, the price of your home. This form is just to say that, hey, we promise we will not sell your information, but you do have public information just by being on title, but it's just stating that myself, escrow, title, we're not going to sell your information. So that pretty much sums it up. And if you have any questions whatsoever, please feel free to reach out.